Hello, this is Hwan Sansuni, and welcome to our program. About a year or two ago, I met with the university students that I teach at certain universities in Seoul for our weekly meeting, which we conduct during the semester. So we gathered in the room that we use, and in front of them I asked them, do you believe that there is still a place for traditional religion in modern society? And to my surprise, every single one of them said no. There was no hesitation. So I kind of laughed at this and said, well then, do you believe that traditional religions will continue to exist in the future? And again, all of them said no. They believed that traditional religion would eventually die out in modern society. So then I asked them, well, why are you here? Why do you come out week after week for what is basically a religious Buddhist gathering? And then they kind of started laughing at that point. They laughed kind of nervously. They were aware of the contradiction. That here they were saying that, probably religion has no value and will eventually die out, it's obsolete, and yet they were coming out week after week. And so what that showed to me was that people don't feel very connected to traditional religious institutions anymore, at least modern educated people. There are many modern educated people who don't feel connected, for whom traditional religion doesn't provide meaningful experience or meaningful knowledge. And yet at the same time, these very same modern people are uncomfortable with the idea that traditional religion should disappear altogether. Now, I don't think that we need to ask the question in such an extreme way, should we get rid of religion or should we not? I don't think that's the question that we should be asking. Instead, we could ask ourselves, in this day and age, what is the proper role for religion? That is the question that I would like to ask for today's episode. What is the role of religion in the 21st century modern society? So the question is, what is the role of traditional religion in the modern society of the 21st century? Now, as a member of a very specific religious tradition, I don't think I have the right to really talk about the possible value and role of other religious traditions. So for today's episode, I'm just going to confine myself to the question of what possible value do Sun Buddhist teachings and practices have for modern people? What role can Sun Buddhism play in the 21st century for modern people? So these are the questions that I would like to consider. And in considering these questions, I think it's first necessary to understand sort of the unique characteristics or the defining characteristic of the religious tradition that we call Buddhism. Now, I'm sure you know that Buddhism is actually an English word. It was created by the European anthropologists and scholars who began to study the religious traditions of Asia many years ago, actually several centuries ago. And so it's kind of a very Western thing to do, or a very kind of European thing to do, to put ism at the end of something to describe it as an institution or a tradition, like communism, socialism, capitalism, and now we have Buddhism. But it's important to understand that the Asians who practiced so-called Buddhism during the centuries when there was very little contact between the various cultures of the world, they never actually called themselves Buddhists. They never called their tradition Buddhism, obviously. In India, they referred to their own tradition originally as the Buddha Dharma. And both are Sanskrit words. Dharma means teaching or truth. So we could translate that original name, Buddha Dharma, as the teaching or truth that was taught by the Buddha. meaning the historical Buddha, who is believed to have lived maybe 500 years BCE. So that's one way to understand the tradition. But we can go a little further with that. We can see that the word Buddha itself means enlightened person. So then we may say that the Buddha Dharma is the teaching or truth that was taught by the enlightened masters, the enlightened people who have lived over the ages. And an understanding like that works especially well for Sun Buddhism, because Sun Buddhism reveres, venerates, and follows the teachings of not only the historical Buddha, but of all the enlightened masters who inherited the teaching, the tradition from, they say, the historical Buddha himself. Sun Buddhists recognize a lineage of masters dating back from the time of the original Buddha, going all the way out to Bodhidharma, who is considered the 28th generational descendant of the Buddha. And then in China, we move over to the ancestral enlightened master named Hui Ko, who's considered the successor to Bodhidharma and the first Chinese enlightened master to have inherited the Dharma of the Buddha. And so in the Sun Buddhist tradition, we see a passing of the Dharma, of the teachings, of the enlightened truth down through the generations. And so we may regard the Buddha Dharma as the teaching or truth taught by the enlightened masters, beginning with the Buddha. Now we can even go a step further, and we can note that in the word Buddha, the root of the word, B-U-D-D-H, Bud, means enlightenment, enlightened. And if we take a more open interpretation of the Buddha Dharma, we may say that the Buddha Dharma, meaning Buddhism, is the teaching or truth that is expressed by the enlightened mind, by the mind that has been opened up by enlightenment. We can also say that this is the teaching of how to become enlightened. I believe that in his Dharma speeches, when Sun Master Songdam refers to Buddhism, the Buddha Dharma, his meaning encloses all possible interpretations of that term, the Buddha Dharma. It is the teaching or truth derived from the historical Buddha. It is the teaching or truth taught by not only the Buddha, but all the enlightened masters who followed. It is an expression of the enlightened mind. And finally, it is instruction on how to get enlightened. This is the identifying, the self-identification of the Buddhist tradition. This is sort of the reason why Buddhism exists. And so it's important to understand that. Now, why don't we listen together to the Dharma speech of Sun Master Songdam as he describes to us some of the most important features and purposes of the Buddhist tradition. So please assume meditative posture. So straighten your spine, relax your shoulders, tuck in your chin, lightly press the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth, look forward with a soft, open gaze, breathe in, and then breathe out and exhale all of the air in your lungs. And now let's engage Dantian breathing, abdominal breathing, and raise the Hwadu, Imoko. So we inhale, pause, and then on the out breath, Imoko. What is this? What is this that directs my body? What is this that thinks my thoughts? What is this that feels my emotions and my physical sensations? What is the thing within me that I call me? We ask ourselves Imoko with every out-breath, and we ask that question with the utmost sincerity so as to create the state of doubt, the state of wanting to know the unknowable, to perceive the imperceptible. Let us enter now together into Sun meditation and listen to the teachings of Sun Master Songdam as he describes to us what Buddhism means.
천사 천하 무여부려 시방세계 영무비로다 나 오아미타불 세간 소유 아진견은 일체 무효 여불자로다 나 오아미타불. 이 개송은 부처님을 찬탄하는 찬돌계라고 하는 개송인데, 이 개송은 누가 지었느냐? 서가모니 부처님 과거의 인행 때 미륵보살과 도반이 되어가지고 저사불이라고 하는 부처님 밑에서 두 분이 수행을 할 때, 그때 서가모니 부처님이 깨닫고서 그 저사 부처님을 찬양하는 개송입니다. 그 개송이 최초에 생긴 이 참불계인데, 그 이후로 모든 불제자들이 서가모니 부처님을 찬양하는 개송으로서 모든 예식을 할 때 이 개송을 읊게 됩니다. 천상천하 무여부려 하늘 위에 하늘 아래 부처님 같은 분이 없으시고 시방세계의 영무비다. 동서남북과 상하 시방세계에 이 부처님과 같으신 분이 안 계십니다. 세간 소유 아진견하니 세간에 있는 모든 것을 다 내가 보니 일체 무유 여불자입니다. 일체 부처님과 같으신 분이 없으십니다. 이런 부처님을 찬양하는 최고의 개송입니다. 오늘 그러한 뜻으로 이 자리에 사부 대중이 모였습니다. 부처님 탄생하신 그 부처님을 찬양하기 위해서, 축복을 하기 위해서 오색이 찬란한 정성어린 등불을 켜고 이 법요식을 갖게 됩니다. 아무리 우리가 이 개송을 읊고 법회를 열고 등불을 켜고 날마다 한다 해도 부처님의 거룩하심과 부처님의 그 은혜를 표현할 길이 없고 다할 길이 없는 것입니다. 한마디만 여러분께 하고자 합니다. 오늘 이 법요식에 참석하신 모든 사부 대중, 형제, 자매, 도반 여러분은 이 인연 공덕으로 첫째, 건강하시고 가정이 화평하시고 몸과 마음이 건전해서 철저히 최상승 불법을 의지해서 마음을 닦아가지고 복과 지혜를 얻어서 일생 동안 행복하실 뿐만 아니라 세세생생에 다시 불법을 만나서 스스로 깨닫고 많은 사람들을 깨닫게 하는 그러한 훌륭한 불자가 되시리라고 나는 믿습니다. 이 세상에 많은 종교들이 있습니다. 있으나 대부분 죽어서 천당에 가고 죽어서 극락세계에 가고 그런 것을 바라서 종교를 믿습니다. 그러나 우리 불법은 잘 믿으면 틀림없이 도솔천 내원궁에도 가고 극락세계에도 갈 것입니다마는 살아서 부처님이 되는 법이 바로 불교의 최상승법입니다. 살아서 수행을 잘 해가지고 10년, 20년 열심히 도를 닦아가지고 견성성불한 것이 아니라 우리가 눈으로 무엇을 볼 때, 귀로 무엇을 들을 때, 코로 냄새를 맡을 때, 혀로 무슨 맛을 볼 때, 몸으로 차갑고 더움을 느낄 때 그 찰나찰나 번뇌심이 일어나거나 슬픔을 만나거나 기쁨을 만나거나 기분이 나빠서 성을 내거나 일체처 일체시 행주 좌와 어묵 동정 간에 바로 그때 그 자리에서 부처님과 나가 하나가 되는 방법이 있습니다. 그것이 아까 이 무엇고입니다. 골이 날 때도 이 무엇고, 기분이 나쁠 때도 이 무엇고, 슬플 때도 이 무엇고, 기쁠 때도 이 무엇고, 바로 그 자리에서 이목고를 할 때 업장은 그 자리에서 소멸해 없어지고 바로 내가 부처님 마음과 하나가 되는 길이요 방법입니다. 이것을 철저히 믿고 실천하는 사람은 뱃속에 똥이 가득 들어있고 오줌이 가득 들어있고 피고름이 들어있고 암에 걸려서 썩어가고 병들어가고 있는 그런 찰나에도 이목구를 든다면 바로 그 몸 그대로 부처님과 내가 하나가 되는 것입니다. 이것이 바로 생사 없는 진리요 생사 없는 법입니다. 이것을 믿고 실천하신 여러분들은 이 몸뚱이 그대로 부처님이 되는 길이니 이것이 바로 최상승법이요 활구참선법인 것입니다. 내가 30여 년간 여러분들에게 법회할 때마다 이 말씀을 해왔습니다. 앞으로 목숨이 닿을 때까지 이 말씀을 여러분에게 할 것입니다. 왜 그러냐 하면 8만 대장경, 8만 4천 법문이 다 뽑아서 결론을 맺자면 이 말 한마디 이상이 없기 때문에 그런 것입니다. 여러분, 형제자매, 도반 여러분, 이 말을 믿고 그동안에도 꾸준히 해와셨겠지만은 앞으로도 이것을 실천하시겠다고 그런 결심을 하신 분은 손을 한번 들어보세요. 좋습니다. 이것을 열심히 하는 것이 바로 부처님을 찬양하는 최고의 방법이고 부처님의 진리를 믿고 실천하는 유일한 길인 것입니다. 그 밖에 모든 것은 다 좋은 말씀드리고 그러기는 하나 그것은 하근 중생들을 위해서 하는 방편법에 지나지 않습니다. 나는 그것을 나쁘다고는 생각 안 하나 이 최상승법에는 미치지 못하는 것입니다. 이것을 여러분께서 실천하겠다고 약속을 하셨으니 저는 더 이상 할 말이 없습니다.
So the first thing that Sun Master Songdam says in his Dharma speech is that Buddhism is not a religion in which you perform good deeds and build up a lot of good karma, what in Buddhism is usually referred to as merit, so that you could go to heaven at some time in the future, perhaps after your physical death. He says that Buddhism, this is not what Buddhism is teaching. Instead, in this very moment of suffering, of living, of breathing, if we enter into sun meditation, we can, in his words, become with the Buddha, one with the Buddha, right here and now. In modern language, what that means is this: we are not asked to believe blindly in advance. We're not asked to give of our time, our energy, our effort, even our money, for some future reward that in a future that seems hard to understand or comprehend, and let alone believe in. So he's saying that we don't have to do that. we can instead, right here and now, enjoy the full benefit of Sun Buddhist meditation, of the Sun Buddhist tradition itself. Now, this is a teaching that is said to have been proclaimed by the historical Buddha himself. It is said that the Buddha said that any authentic spiritual practice, any authentic practice designed for the transformation of our consciousness will give immediate benefit. You don't have to wait a whole long time to see whether it works or not. It should come as soon as you perform the practice itself. And if you practice, in our case, sun meditation, you will see that this is true. If you put in a little bit of effort, let's say a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes of sun meditation, you will get a little bit of benefit. It'll follow naturally as the natural consequence and reaction to your practice of sun meditation, even if it was just for a minute or two. If you put in some more effort, you'll get some more benefit. If you put in a lot of effort, you will immediately get a lot of benefit. If you devote your entire life to practicing sun meditation and give it everything you got, then the tradition tells us you will get enlightened. There is no waiting period. There is no need to believe blindly. The truth is that the way that the Sun Buddhist tradition teaches meditative practice, it's not a situation of we practice really, really hard today. We meditate a lot today so that we can become enlightened tomorrow. We practice today so that we can become Buddha tomorrow. That's not what the Buddhist tradition, the Sun Buddhist tradition is teaching. The Sun Buddhist tradition teaches us that we are already Buddha. We are already Buddha, but we've forgotten it somehow. So the time to become enlightened is right now. Sun Buddhist practice is not meditate and get enlightened. Sun Buddhist meditation means open your eyes right now. Direct your gaze inward toward the source of all of your thoughts and feelings, the experiencer of your experiences. Open your eyes to that, become enlightened to that right here and now. In the Sun Buddhist tradition, there is only now, this moment. There is no future to work toward. There is no past to regret or be proud of. There is only this moment now. Where will we direct our attention? Will we direct it inward and become awakened, or will we direct it outward and become distracted? This is the teaching of practice, meditative practice of the Sun Buddhist tradition. Now, the second thing that Sun Master Songdam tells us is that the source of all truth, the thing that's really real, if there is anything real in this world, the thing that is really real, the source of all beauty, the only thing that is truly sacred is located within us, within the human mind, at the source of the human mind. And that means if you want real truth, real happiness, or real empowerment, you should not go looking for them in the outside world, not even in the monasteries, the temples, the churches, the synagogues, the mosques, and so forth. All the source of all truth, all happiness, all real self-empowerment is within, and that is where we should go look for it. The way he says it is, the Buddha is within us. Now, if that is the case, if that is what the Sun Buddhist tradition is teaching, then what we can readily and easily see is that the Sun Buddhist tradition is a religion that believes in human beings. It believes in humanity. It believes in us. So when we choose to undertake Sun Buddhist practices and try to find out for ourselves whether the Sun Buddhist teachings are true or not, in a very real way, we are making the important decision to believe in human beings, in humanity, and in ourselves. So let me ask you then, does this sound like a teaching that has a role to play in modern society? Does this sound like a teaching and a practice that could be useful to modern people? Does this sound like a teaching and a practice that fits well with modern ways of thinking, acting, behaving, and doing? I will leave you to answer that question for yourself. For now, let's enter into meditation again, and let's listen once again to the Dharma speech of Sun Master Songdam as he teaches us what is really important to understand in the Buddhist tradition.
삼계 지중 분요요 하되 지위무명 불교절이니라 나 일념 불생 심증연하면 무거물에 불생멸이니라 나 삼계지중 분요여 욕계, 색계, 무색계 이 삼계 온 세계 가운데 분요여하다 시끌사끌 시끌벅끌 재산 문제 때문에 명예 권리 때문에 자존심 때문에 모두가 다 아우성을 치고 싸움질을 하는데 그 왜 그러냐? 지위 무명 불려절이다. 무명 번외망상 무명을 끊지 못하기 때문에 그런 것이다. 일념불생 심증연하면 참선을 해서 생각이 이목구를 해서 의단이 통로하게 한다면 한 생각 나지 아니해서 마음이 깨끗해지면 무거물의 영무주다. 무거물의 불생멸이다. 가는 것도 없고 오는 것도 없고 생멸이 생사가 거기에서 떨어진 것이다. 이것은 과거의 선지식이 읊은 개소입니다. 따뜻하고 배부르면 악귀도에 빠져서 고통하는 중생들을 생각하고 마음이 편안하면 지옥 중생들을 생각하라. 과거의 선지식들처럼 과거의 수행자들처럼 그렇게 하지 못하고 보고 듣고 생각하고 먹고 입고 그런 데에 팔려가지고 정진을 등한히 하는 것을 항상 부끄러운 생각을 가지고 무슨 생각이든지 일어나면 바로 화두를 들고 내 마음자리를 찾으라.
So at the time that I met with my university students and we discussed the possible value and role of traditional religion in modern society, they then asked me, well, do I think that traditional religion will continue to survive in the future? And if so, what would be the possible role of religion in the future? And I said to them that I think that actually it will continue to survive, even though sometimes traditional religion looks so out of time, looks so antiquated. So they asked me why I believe this, and I said to them, well, I think that human beings, that people have two sort of opposing drives, two motivations. And the religious traditions that we create reflect both of those drives, both of those motivations. So the first drive, I think, is a desire to return to childhood, a desire to return to the embrace of our parents, to the safety and protection that we enjoyed under our parents, that most of us enjoyed. So we grow up in the world, we graduate from school, we go out into the world. And when we go out into the world, we see that the world can be a difficult place to live in. There is war, there is disease, there's poverty, there's conflict. Life is very unpredictable. We are often surprised to see what people might do in their darkest moments, what people actually do in their darkest moments. We also see the reality of impermanence. We see that we're growing old over time, that we will eventually get sick, or something will happen to us, and then our bodies will have to die, and we have no idea what's going to happen after that. In such a world, it's easy to get confused. Under such circumstances, it's easy to get confused and wonder, how shall I live? What shall I do? Should I be altruistic or should I be self-centered? Should I pursue pleasure or should I pursue meaning? There are all these questions that arise in the course of living, and we may feel challenged to try to answer them on our own, and then we wish someone would explain those things to us again, like when we lived under our parents. We wish that someone would tell us how to live and what to do. And because of these wishes, I believe, we have created religious traditions. Every single religion in the world has a side to it that acts like a parent. We have asked, many of us over time have asked religion to replace the parents that we lost when we grow up. And so in every religion, you will find teachings, injunctions that cover every single conceivable part of living. Religions will tell you what to eat, how to eat it, when to eat it, what to wear, what you can do, what you cannot do, what you should do, what you should not do, how to talk, how to sleep, who you can marry, who you can be friends with, who you should not be friends with, who you should love, who you should hate. If you want, your religion can tell you every single thing that you have to do so you never have to make a decision for the rest of your life. You can just look in the religious texts and follow what you see there, and you can just ask clergy people like me, religious officials like me, and many of them will tell you what to do and how to do it and when to do it and so forth. It should come to us as no surprise that if we each harbor a secret longing to return to childhood, that we might create, that we have created religious traditions that will tell us what to do at all times, that scold us, that threaten to punish us, that order us around, and then tell us the most unbelievable, the most sometimes even ridiculous sounding stories about angels and demons and magic, and how good people always get what they deserve and bad people always get punished, and in the end everything will be all right. It should come as no surprise that we have created religious traditions that will behave in that way toward us, that we have created religious traditions that are both authoritarian and superstitious. When we see those features of traditional religion, this authoritarian side, this superstitious side, instead of wagging our fingers at what we ourselves have created over time in our shared history, we might consider, what does this say about me? Since this is our collective creation, is this not a reflection of some part of me? How much does my own this inner regressive desire to go back to childhood, how much does this influence the way I behave in other aspects of my life? Do I approach science in the same way? Do I simply believe what all the so-called experts say? Do I simply follow what all the experts say? Have I truly outgrown this side of me and this side of human nature that has created traditional religious systems that now seem childish? So this is something I believe something that we can think about very carefully when we consider the question of the possible value and use of traditional religion in modern society. But there is a second drive that I think defines human activity and human effort. And this is precisely the opposite drive. This is the drive, I believe, that I think all human beings possess to grow and to develop and to actualize all of our hidden potential, to realize all of our hidden possibilities, to evolve, to become an adult in the true sense of the word, to mature, and to look out into the world as a responsible, mature adult with a thirst for knowledge, to want to know and understand the world that surrounds us, and not only the external universe that seems to surround us, but also our internal universe as well, the inner universe of our mind and our body, to become masters of our inner universe, to become a fully evolved human being who is ready to take on responsibility for the very great challenges that currently threaten the extinction of our species, of humanity itself. I do believe that each of us has a desire to awaken from the dreams and fantasies of childhood. And it is in service to this drive, this second religious drive, that I believe that the Sun Buddhist teachings and practices, specifically of Sun meditation, have been developed. These practices are designed to wake us up to what is within, rather than drive us to seek answers or things to depend on in the outside world, whether they be institutions or specific leaders and teachers, other people. This is a very different way of understanding religion, traditional religion especially, because these teachings have always persisted throughout the centuries. There have always been teachings of awakening, growth, development, evolution, transformation. These teachings have always existed, and they are still there for us now. Sun Master Songdam, in his Dharma speeches, likes to say that in the moment when we are struck by a perceptual stimulus, when something catches our attention, in that precise moment, that is where true religion happens. True religion happens when we respond to that stimulus by directing our attention inward and seeking union with the source, the inner root of our own mind and body. And we lose that true religion when instead, under the provocation of the stimulus, we follow the stream of associations, of thoughts and feelings that follow. This is where true religion occurs, according to my teacher, Sun Master Songdam. In every moment of living, when something strikes us, catches our attention, in that moment, true religion will occur. We are at a crossroads. Will I follow the stimulus into an endless, meaningless stream of mental activity, of associated thoughts, memories, imagery, voices in my head, and spin around in there, divorced from actual physical reality? Or will I direct my attention inward, deep into the depths of my mind, fully occupy my mind and my body, and awaken to the reality around us? This is the religion that the Sun Buddhist tradition in general, and Sun Master Songdam in particular, offers us today. And I think it is perhaps the most relevant teaching, the most needed teaching in the age that we live in today. Look at the world around us, the wars, the destruction and poisoning of the natural environment, the spread of diseases, all of the conflict that we see. Where does all of this come from? Do wars really come from guns and bombs and tanks? Is the natural environment really crumbling because of its own natural processes? Where is it all really coming from? And if we ask that question in all seriousness with a clear mind, we will see that it's coming from in here, and it's coming from in here, because of our unregulated thoughts and feelings in that moment when we are struck by a stimulus, when something catches our attention. If we do not regulate the thoughts and feelings that follow, all hell can break loose, all hell often break loose. The ability to regulate our thoughts and feelings, to go back inward to the source of those thoughts and feelings, may be the most important human skill for this era, because all of the troubles that we face now, all of the dangers that threaten all of our lives, come from us. We created them. Our thoughts and feelings created them. If we do not know how to manage our thoughts and feelings, if we do not understand where all these strange positive and negative thoughts and feelings, dark and light negative thoughts and feelings, all of this energy comes from, if we do not understand that, we will never be able to control it. And if we are unable to control it, no matter how much technology we create, we will always be the authors of our own destruction, our own harm, and our own suffering. This is the message I believe that Sun Master Songdam is trying to spread throughout the world. This is something that I hope we can take very seriously. So enter into meditation right now. Hold your posture. Direct your attention inward. Become very clear and ask yourself, where is real religion? Is it really out there in external structures and teachings? Or is it deep inside? Isn't that where it really comes from? Isn't that where it really belongs? And isn't that where we ought to be making the greatest effort? I think the religion of the future will emphasize what we do, not what we believe. It will not emphasize what we think. It will emphasize our ability to control what we think. This brings us to the end of another episode. Once again, I thank all of our viewers for watching. And once again, I will conclude with the traditional Buddhist greeting. May we all attain enlightenment. And now we will enter into our closing meditation. So assume your meditative posture, engage your Dantian breathing, ask yourself Imoko, and raise the great doubt.